is, though?
A little.
So, last we left off, you guys made your escape from the turning fire for thoroughly disguising the door to the scary portal room as a fireplace. You teleported back to the city of Royas, where you were able to meet up with your BFF, your lover, the one, the only, the Levy. He gave you guys a brief tour of the first floor of your guys' house. The workers who have been working on remodeling and rebuilding it seem to have been doing a good job. Though Levy did point out that there's a couple of spaces that they're still working on, namely the porches outside of Lish and Demir's room and the porch outside of Valk's room. But you guys had spent some time discussing what you wanted to do. Levy was able to share some of her insights as to what she's been working on with Aldric on her conspiracy board all over the floor of the library, and trying to decide what you wanted to do next. A few of you decided might be best to go see what the deal is with Valk's mom. So unless there's any conversations that you'd like to have this evening, I can describe you guys' bedrooms now, if you like.
Yes, do it.
All right, so let's
Reveal unto us the weeb room.
let's start with the second floor. Let me scroll down to the proper section if I can get Google Docs to cooperate with me. All right, start with Erin's room. I know Erin's not here, but I mean, I guess for the sake of description, because I figure you guys all want to hear what's going on with each other's room. This room looks almost completely different compared to when you last saw it. The only things that are the same are the stone hearth and the oval mirror above it, which seems to have been polished. On the wall to the left of the hearth is a weapons rack for storage, a training dummy standing in front of it. Counterclockwise around the room, there's a sewing bust with a small wardrobe behind it, and a small box of pins and sewing needles sitting on top of it. Next to that, facing the window, is an easel. The curtains are drawn aside to reveal the landscape beyond, though there is a planter box on the window with freshly planted green bean sprouts. Diagonally across the room from the training dummy, next to the entrance, is a bed with warm blankets heaped up on top of it. There's a shelf on the wall above the bed. Moving on to Tobias and Levy's room. The first thing you see upon entering the room is a comfortable sitting area in front of the fireplace that connects to Erin's room. There's a soft round rug on the floor and an armchair and love seat facing the fireplace. Directly to the left of the door, there are a couple of empty display cases against the wall, and to the right, there's a large, comfortable bed with green sheets. On either side of the bed, there is a nightstand, one of which has a lamp on it and a couple of extra books. Levy, that is up to you to decide which side of the bed you have claimed. Below the bed is a soft and colorful rug. Across from the bed, there is a workbench with a couple of small plants in pots and a book on appending for beginners. Next to the workbench, there's a desk near a couple of extra bookshelves. Between the study area and the wardrobe against the wall and its accompanying floor-length mirror is the door to the master bath. And I will also just say as a reminder that although I do have the correct floor visible on Roll20, the maps of the house are pinned in the Discord chat if you don't feel like opening Roll20 and you still want to follow along. Next up is the master bath. This room has almost been entirely redone. The tiles on the floor have been completely replaced, removing any mold that had been there previously. There's the lovely dressing screen depicting a purple peacock and an orange cat with a wardrobe containing several clean bathrobes. The bathtub has been replaced with a newer one. It's triangular and fitted perfectly into the corner, large enough for at least 3 people. The vanity has been cleaned up and the mirror has been replaced. There are several scented perfumes and oils on the vanity, clearly intended to be added to the bath. Now for the master bedroom. The walls and floor are the same kept hardwood as the rest of the house, but it's hard to see underneath the large amount of carpet, pillows, tapestries, and plants hanging in the room. There are also drapes throughout the room that serve to divide up the various sections, or they could be pulled back and let the room be open. There's Mojave-style lanterns strung throughout the room, some with clear glass, others with colored and glittering beads. There are a variety of little lanterns and hanging lights, and in the dark, it looks like the room is illuminated by fairies. A few shelves line the walls up, places for plants and space for storage of belongings, as well as little hideaways for the pixies. The bars that hang the curtains serve as a lattice work for fairies, vines, and lanterns. On the mantel, there's a small bronze statue of a stag and doe, currently serving as bookends for various books, fit together in an embrace. The bed is huge, big enough for at least an owl bear and a dire wolf to fit in comfortably without smothering the other 2 girls in the bed. It's covered in pillows and blankets to make a very comfortable nest, and it has a canopy of pine and ivy, hanging plants and flowers that serve as a cover around the bed. It takes up most of the back corner of the room where the desk once stood. Across from the bed sits a large wardrobe and has a mirror built into it, but is otherwise not too remarkable. There's also a changing screen of carved wood nearby, but it more usually serves to provide some cover from the hallway door rather than true privacy for changing clothes. There's also a vanity near the wardrobe by the bathroom door. It's also very clear that the porch is in progress of being built outside. Doors have been installed on the wall, and there are several low couches, cushions, and pillows that serve as a lounging area nearby. There are a few smaller tables around near the couches and a few hookahs and pipes near the doors, but the porch itself is clearly very much in progress. Now for Sniv's chaos room. Affectionately dubbed the Rage Room by Egris, this room has a padded floor and walls. There are lots of cheap pillows and blankets for destroying, as well as a proper punching bag.
Our chaos gremlin has a place to take care of its angst.
The rage room. You just imagine him moshing in there.
Because every now and then you hear like a muffle.
No, you get what is it? The flashing lights, fairy lights cast in there. So it's just like in the middle of the night, caramel dancing with the flashing light.
You guys don't get to know the description of Hawk's room yet because someone did send me a description.
I'm sorry.
Moving on to the 3rd floor. The armory / easy access, the formerly servants' quarters. This room has been largely cleared out. There are a couple of empty chests against the walls below, some weapon racks for hanging weapons up on the walls. There's also a training dummy in the center of the room. The floor still creaks, but it's perfectly safe. Seems like a good area for practice or for storage, which does bring me to the storage room. This room has been cleared out as well and is essentially empty. A few shelves have been installed along the back wall, but they are empty. So you guys are able to make use of this room as you please. The bathroom. This bathroom, while still not being as fine as the one downstairs, is still pretty nice. All signs of water damage have been removed, and the clawfoot bathtub has been freshly polished. The vanity that was in there previously has been replaced entirely with the one that has something of a more feminine design, white in color with crawling jasmine painted along the side. There's also the Widow's Walk. All of the moss and loose shingles have been replaced, making it much safer. As well as the little fence surrounding it. It seems like a really nice place for sitting. Which brings me to Valk's room. So this room seems to have a strange mix of aesthetics. One side of the room, there is a mannequin for storage of armor during rest. Next to this on the wall, there's a blue tapestry depicting balanced scales resting on a warhammer. Underneath this tapestry are an odd collection of items, including small brass gongs, a small hammer figurine, an oak sprig, and a small vial of rainwater. All of these things are typical offerings to Tyr. All of this religious iconography seems to be clustered to this one part of the room, however. The walls of the rest of the room have artistic posters depicting colorful images, usually people, often in anatomically impossible positions making peace signs. There is a large bed, one big enough for Valk to comfortably flop over and spread out if she wants to. And it is positioned so that the headboard is in the corner near the door to the porch. There are lots of stuffed animals on the bed. Most noticeably, however, there's a body pillow depicting a very handsome half-orc with prominent cheekbones, a chiseled jawline, and washboard abs, matching the depiction of a love interest in tusked gloves. At the foot of the bed, there's a wicker basket with extra blankets and a couple of small crochet dolls that look similar to some of the figures on the posters on the wall. To the immediate right of the door to enter the room, there's a comfortable reading nook, but instead of a chair, there's a little wooden swing, akin to the type one might see for a bird, with cheerful little bells hanging from it on the sides. Little chains of cardboard rings also hang from the ceiling in this area above a woven ropey rug. Against the wall in this area is a bookshelf filled with lots of smut.
Yeah.
I know what a teenage weeb room looks like.
Amazing.
The porch, much like the others, still seems to be in progress, but at very least, the dead plant and old chairs have been removed. Which takes me to Echo and Egris's room. This room has been cleaned up a lot, and it's clear that the twins have each claimed a side of the room. On one side of the room, the one closest to the door, there's a small bed. There's a shoddily drawn target on one of the walls with a couple of daggers sticking out from it, as well as a line drawn on the floor indicating where to stand to begin throwing. The other side of the room, closest to the window, there's a very similar bed, but this one has a few more pillows on it and a nightstand next to it with a healthy stack of books. Writing desk has been placed between the two beds along with a wooden chair directly across from the fireplace. There are trunks at the foot of each bed, but despite that fact, there are things left all over the floor. given that they're 12, including books, a little lyre, wooden swords, and a few stuffed animals. And then finally, there's the basement. The well in the surrounding small room has been cleaned out, and the well is now filled with fresh, clean water as a resource now. And the alchemy lab, where you guys dumped a bunch of rocks. The wine cellar has been transformed into an alchemy lab. On the wall closest to the door, there are cabinets filled with alchemical reagents and ingredients in jars, including spider silk, gold shavings, flower petals, acid, raven feathers, wolfbane, and more. While on the opposite side are cabinets for the storing of created potions. Near the center of the room, part of the floor has been removed for the safe creation of a fire pit, next to which a large empty cauldron sits. There's also a workbench and several sets of supplies, such as tweezers, spoons, measuring cups, syringes, and more. This room seems to have been arranged in a way that it has a basic setup for a beginning alchemist. There's also now a bunch of rocks that you guys dumped all over the floor. And the pantry has been well stocked since your guys' initial departure, thanks in large part to Levy's continued stay. And there you guys go.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
I will actually even share this document onto the Discord channel so you guys can reference it as you please, because I'm hoping for some art eventually.
Sick. I'll finish up some idea of what Hawk's room will look like for you later.
Let's see. So you guys, I assume, head to bed for the evening?
I do want Tobias to send Ophsi a message saying, made it back to Royas safely. No, I think that's all he'll say is made it back to Royas safely.
Ophsi gets back to you pretty quickly. I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right. Hope to come visit you soon. Miss you a whole lot.
Yay!
Message from Dad achieved.
When Valk enters her room, everyone hears a squeal of just absolute delight. None is safe.
All right. So you head to bed for the evening. While you guys, I will note, were exploring your rooms in the house, the kids returned from their various schooling that Levy enrolled them in. They don't really seem to pay you guys too much mind, as they seem to be bickering with one another. But Echo heads over to the music room and starts angrily playing the piano, and Egris goes upstairs.
Levy's actually gonna go do the parental side lean into the door jam at the threshold of the room, just like watching, waiting.
Which room? Egris went to their bedroom. Echo's like,
the piano, the angry piano.
let's see how well she plays. Not bad, actually, despite it's clear, like,
Like she's pissed, but it's like, it's good.
she's 12. With
Right,
Yeah.
the angry sheep is the
12 and
first
8.
one.
Well, the horrors of being a 12-year-old.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
I
the
understand.
gist you get. Nothing like traumatic happened. It's just that she's 12 and her brother's 12 and her brother's so annoying.
Messed up. Leave you wait it out. She's actually
Eventually, she stops playing the piano and looks at you like, do you have something to say or are you just going to stand there?
I was seeing if you. Oh, hang on. It's been a while. Oh. Oh no, I was just waiting to see if you had something on your mind you wanted to share. But if you don't, that's fine.
No, I'm fine. You can go now.
All right. You know where I am. You need anything.
She's pubertying right now.
That's fine. Levy's just there. If she needs anything,
All right.
she'll just clearly dismiss whatever. She'll be like, have fun with your music. It was very nice. And she'll go find somebody else to haunt.
I will say, though, that despite her angry plucking at the piano, she got a dirty 20. So, you know.
Oh, I'm so proud.
None of you have seen Esme yet, by the way.
Gosh. You know what? Levy's gonna go find Toby, because she's been talking to Demir this whole time. But Demir, you'll get your turn, but you've had so many already.
Never enough.
She'll go find Toby.
Tobias will probably be in their room, kind of just like examining all the stuff in there. I guess like I'm trying to think of like how to describe his facial expression, where there's kind of like an almost sense of wonderment of wow, this is probably the nicest room he's ever been in, or like the nicest room he's ever had.
Levy's gonna kind of sidle into the room. She'll leave the door cracked just because like everybody else is milling around the house looking at everything, so she doesn't want to like shut anybody out. But also she's used to basically having the house to herself with just a couple of preteens, so it's the parental door crack.
Parental door crack in case someone needs her.
But she'll come up to Toby and kind of bump shoulders with him, more shoulder to upper arm because he's a fucking tree.
That is a true fact.
And God, I love him. And she'll be like, "What you think?" What you think? Nice. I thought it was nice.
I like it. I like it a lot. Never had a room this big before.
She'll kind of come round to face him head on, cup his face with her hands, and go, "Oh, well, I mean, we share, but it is all yours."
I know.
Okay.
Honestly, I think I prefer to share it anyway. It almost seems too large for just me.
Well, get comfortable, make yourself at home. I haven't really picked a side of the bed. I've just been like kind of sprawled out in the middle. So sorry if I kick you in the middle of the night, because I'm used to having the bed to myself.
I don't mind. It'll be good having you beside me again. And then he'll take her hand and kiss it gently and say, I've missed you a lot.
Oh, I missed you too. I missed you a whole lot. It's too damn big a bed to be laying in by myself. I don't know if like I don't if Toby looks closely at the bed, there's very clearly like a pile of stray pillows that she has like clearly been like snuggled up to because it's too fucking big of a bed.
Well, as long as I'm here, you won't have to be it alone. I'll hog half the space for you.
Count on it. Thank you. You'll also be so much warmer. Pile of pillows.
I would hope.
Oh, and look, and she's gonna like throw herself onto the bed and like starfish out, and her limbs do not even come close to reaching the edges of this fucking bed because it's gigantic. She's like, there's enough space for you if you're like a big bear. There's enough space.
I don't know if transforming willy-nilly is a something I should get into the habit of doing, but it's nice knowing that at the very least my feet won't dangle off the edge like it mostly does.
Nope, you can sprawl out, stretch out, and get nice and comfortable. She looks so pleased with herself, like she thought of so much. She put so much thought into making sure that he would be comfortable in there.
It's like they were originally going to put a smaller bed, and she's like, no, it must be bigger. And
They're like, oh, like a king, and she's like, no, larger. It's custom.
Ma'am, we don't have a bed that big. Make one.
Fucking make one. She's like, God.
We have the technology. We can do it.
Enlarge bed.
We can invent the state of California just so we can have a California king.
Forget the California king, Alaskan king. Big enough for an owl bear.
Wild.
She's gonna roll off and go and stand up and kind of dust herself off. And she is totally like in like lounge around the house clothes right now.
Mm.
Like it's like not silk because she's not bougie, but like soft linen, like the button up and the sweats and like little house slippers. Like she's cozy, she's comfortable. There's a robe hung up on the back of the door that she actually grabs and pulls on and is like, I'm gonna go touch base with everybody else, but you make yourself at home because it's home.
I will.
And she'll yoink a kiss upon his cheek scuttle off.
Yeah.
Sniv is not in his room, by the way.
Sniff.
Valk, where's your son?
I have an idea. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna like it if it's true.
He is chaos incarnate.
Samir is making sure that we're locking up the alchemy room before we leave it. And she's keeping the key on herself.
Good thinking, because he was down there trying to pick the lock.
Yeah, no.
Well, he
That
wants to be our
child-
little alchemy gremlin.
Yeah, no, we're not letting the kobold that exploded things into the room of explosives, Volk.
You did make us poison that we still haven't used.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, can I get like my first alchemy kit for kids while we're out and about tomorrow?
Maybe.
You know, everything not so much glass vials, but maybe like I don't know, metal vials and whatnot.
Also, Demir, what did you do with the brain? And Levy, do you have any reaction to the fact that?
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
brain?
Wait, is the brain no, we took the brain with us after we left Sniv's house, right? Or Stick's house, right?
Yeah.
Or did we leave it-
Yeah. No, we took it with us. Because just in general, it's not a good idea to leave a intellect
The
devour around, just in general. Yeah, Demir I guess Demir brought the brain with us. So when we're getting like reacquainted, that's not the right word, but when we're meeting back up with Levy, Demir just kind of picks up the brain like, we found this. We're trying to find its home still, but it's been coming with us. I don't think it has a name yet.
Oh, that's.
But it's fine. It's harmless.
I mean, I figured since you brought it home,
Um, And she'll kind of she seems to shuffle some stuff around in her head really quick. Like she's thinking really hard for a second, like hard gear shift. And then she just kind of melts and goes, "Oh, hi," and does like wiggles her fingers at the brain, and might try and send it a telepathic message of like, "She got a name, pronouns."
You get just a flash of confusion in your head coming from the brain, but a genuine comfort with the rest of the party.
The telepaths are talking.
Just mind meld.
and Levy will just kind of shrug and go, "That's all right. Try again later."
You
Lovely.
catch an image of cage doors, and then the sensation of running and then the sensation of flying.
All right. We'll come back to that. She, of course, in true lady fashion, she has like a little hand sized notebook and like a little charcoal pencil. She notes that down and then stuffs it back in her robe.
Demir will set the brain down and tell it, you can go exploring or find a place to set up for the night, wherever you want.
Free run in the house. Go right ahead.
Brain scampers off. You then hear Echo scream from the other room.
Oh, sweetheart, don't mind the brain. Don't mind the brain. It's like a dog.
I was literally just about to say,
Debbie.
just treat it like a dog.
Like she'll say that to Debbie. Like a dog? Yeah. It's kind of like a weird dog.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh God.
Look, honey, we brought you home a dog, a puppy.
It's a puppy. Yeah. Oh God. 12.
Fine. You hear very uncertain. Okay.
What hurt you? Maybe. Oh, that's fine. They'll get used to it. They'll get used to each other. It's fine. And she's just gonna open her arms at Demir, just hug. Would you come here? I've only gotten to just hear you for this whole time. I haven't been able to like hear anybody else or give you a damn hug.
Demir will take that hug and
Yeah.
give one back.
She gets gently squished and lifted off the ground by like a couple of inches, just like
Demir just definitely like she hugs Levy and gets the lift off and then just like holds on just like a second too long before letting go and then pulls back like you look so good.
oh well, geez, so do you. I missed you.
You too. I mean, I've been looking in, but
It's not the same. I missed you.
yeah.
Where's everybody else run off to? Their rooms? Or where's Lish and Volk and where's Hawk? No, you said Hawk went off with for a bit. That's right. He's taking care of some stuff. Right. Okay. I remember.
Hawk is gone. Hawk is gone. But I think, I mean, if the yelling is to be believed, I believe that Volk is up in her room.
Oh, that is. I was hoping she'd like it.
I think she does, oddly enough. We I suppose it's her business to tell, but we might be doing some stuff for Volk
Okay, yeah.
in the next few weeks.
All right, yeah. I'll talk to her about that.
Yeah.
How about you? How have you been? And she'll like gently caress Demir's cheek, just
been?
I'm fine.
An insight
fine.
check. Fuck you.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow,
19.
actually. Hold on.
19.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, no, you definitely got higher. Demir is holding it together, but barely. Yeah, I mean, like, you've gotten the sense that, like, for as much as they've been talking, Demir has not been saying what's, like, she's been giving the overall, but she hasn't, like, gotten into the details. And there has been some shit that has gone down.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's why Levy asked. She knows Demir's a cagey bastard.
yeah.
Do we need to Zona truth her again?
No. Levy just got a really good insight check. Let's quit while we're ahead on that one.
But like Demir also like kind of steps back, like, it's fine. We'll have plenty of time to get caught up and tell you everything horrible that has gone down. But you should go find Erin and where is my husband?
Brad, where is your husband?
I
I
think
don't
for a
know.
while, Lish was in the alchemy room and like poking around places and seeing if there was anything he couldn't like stick the rocks like under a microscope of. But after a while, he's just like, fuck this. And I think he's probably gone to their bedroom and is like flopped down.
Nice. Levy's gonna. I think she'll follow she'll imparting to Demir, she'll be like, I think I'm gonna go make sure Vault hasn't self-destructed out of glee. But
Yeah, you should do that. If I find Lish, I'll send him your way.
lovely. But you know where to find me if you need anything. Just a gentle,
Yeah.
I know you're not fine.
We are literally right next to each other.
Uh-huh.
I mean, our door is open to you and Toby anytime.
And so is ours to you.
Of course.
And she'll
Bold of you to assume that we're not going to just all be in the same bed.
the cuddle pile.
Swapping rooms.
And she will leave Demir with a kiss to her forehead and scamper
Demir
off.
will, before Levy presses a kiss to her forehead, and Demir is going to take Levy by the waist and do a dip and give her a proper kiss.
She's all flustered and she does the exaggerated swoon in Demir's arms, just like ragdolling it because she trusts her and shit. And she's just like, oh goodness. Oh my goodness. They say chivalry's dead or whatever. Anyways. I'll go check on Walt. Bye, I love you. she'll once again kind of like half running away.
Demir, like,
her ears are red.
she gets so pink. And then Demir will go and try and find her husband.
He's not hard to find. He's curled up in the big bed with his notebook.
Demir will crawl into that bed as well and just flop down beside him and
Tuck her up.
Levy is looking for you. You know,
He's just like, why is she looking? I'm right here.
I think she's just trying to find everyone a little bit.
Well, I certainly will come across each other.
Nice room.
Your design work has paid off.
Do you like it?
It's a bit like being home, but more you.
Hmm?
More you.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it. Color.
Samir will just give him a smooch.
He'll smooch your back. He's like clearly like the wheels are turning in his head and he's maybe a little tired.
I think they're both pretty tuckered. So
Yeah. But after a while he'll probably meditate for a hot second, but pop back up, and depending on if Demir's fallen asleep or if she's still up, he'll kind of pat her a little bit and disentangle and see if he can't find Levy. See how everybody's doing.
Samir will let him go.
She's found Volk, I believe.
Yeah, this would be like 2 hours later or so. He'd be searching. So if
Sorry,
you want to have a
Dove,
scene,
your outfit is so cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dove, how are you?
Once
You're just-
again, they slay the moment they answer the call.
Oh my god.
How
You've
is
got
there
such
not
intense
a
gender envy from everything you've got going on. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
Thank you.
how is there not a gif of there's a wild pit of appeared?
That is very specific, to be fair.
Yeah, but like okay, I give up. I made the joke. All's good.
Best early game bird Pokemon, by the way.
Anyway, bringing it back in. I assume Volk is cuddling up with Oscar, her body pillow.
No, I think she would be perched.
All right.
Levy will knock on the door before she enters because she's very
When you knock, you hear a thump. Come in.
she'll open the door like
Uh,
I didn't interrupt anything, did I?
you see Valk sitting on the ground by her perch, and it's like, oh no, you just I was distracted and you startled me. And she gets up and her armor's off and on the stand using it, and so it's buff Valk in Witcher clothing. Just being beefy. But yeah, and it goes, the room is absolutely spectacular. Thank you for your hand in it.
Can I come in? Are you? Are you good? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? Didn't bump your head?
Just even if I did, I'm more than set as far as healing's concerned.
I know. Just she'll duck into the room and kind of again the cracked door and go. Just would it kill any of you to let yourselves be fussed over for a second? My goodness.
At which point Valk actually reaches like over her and shuts the door the rest of the way and goes, there's actually something I was hoping to discuss with you.
She's looking up at Bulk and it's like the half like lead going on, and she just kind of looks up at her like,
big woman.
where's this going?
At which point Valk goes and like sits on the perch and goes, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna do it this way. And she basically creates a little, well, not minor illusion, but like basically does a little sparklers with her hands with prestidigitation and goes, I am figuring out how to tap into my innate magic from my papa.
Oh,
And since you're a sorcerer, I was wondering if you had any tips or tricks.
I mean,
God, my brain's just like 10 tips or tricks to be a sorcerer. BuzzFeed articles in the. Anyway, sorry.
kinda. I study the inherent magic I have, so I have a better understanding of it and how to use it. I mean, it's nothing too special. I just don't wing it. Unintended, I suppose.
Valk like legitimately giggles at that.
She's just like, I mean, we could, whatever you're working on, I could help you find the I guess like the formulas and such to study, and we could study together. But it's all business. Oh shoot, other business. Demir said that we were going to be doing something for you in the next couple of what's that about? She said that you had something to take care of.
Val kind of sighs and runs her hands like along her wings, and as she does so, she shifts to her human. Guys, it would appear my mom reached out.
Oh. And Levy, I'm double checking before I trip over my own dick here. Levy does know that Bulk gave up her memories of her mom, right? And she goes, oh. Just the not lovely.
I spoke to my dad briefly about it, and he said it's fine. You know, showed me an image of when I was with my mom, and it seemed lovely, but she still did give me up. And who knows what's changed since that memory of my dad's.
Right. Oh goodness. I guess what did you want to do about it?
She actually sent an invitation to her wedding. Well, I guess she was never properly with my dad, but she is getting married to an individual out by Quanah Lake. There we go.
Oh, okay. Are we going? I just want to be clear about we're going.
That was the plan,
Right.
since it's about a week out, and who knows if we'll have time for anything like this while we're actively running down stuff after the
course.
wizards had a chance to discuss the portal we found.
Right. And you're sure you want to go? It's not gonna mess with you or anything?
I have faced my fair share of challenges, and hell, we were able to slay a dragon from ancient times as the roses. I think we can handle a little wedding.
Yes. Well, if you're sure you can go, I won't. I can't stop you, of course, but I'll be right there if you need anything, of course. I mean, if I'm allowed to come with, I don't want to invite myself along, but
No, Levy. Just hand reaches out, pats shoulder. I would feel more comfortable having you there.
hand over hand on shoulder, little smile. Well, then of course I'll go. Well, and she's gonna like with with her free elbow, she's gonna nudge Bulk in the side and go, I could be your little day to your mom's wedding. I can be your little day.
Brad.
It's too bad she took all her feathers away. She'd be a puffed up bird.
Go flamingo. But yeah, she goes, wouldn't you be Toby's date?
Could be. Or I could be yours if you wanted.
Blue screen. 404 file not found.
You just think on that, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, ma'am. All right, Bulk.
And she'll take Bulk's hand gently off of her shoulder and give her a kiss on the knuckles.
Blue screen, blue screen, blue screen.
Full system crash.
Uh,
Just let me know either way. And what colors I should or should not be wearing. I'm not about to have a wedding scandal.
that kind of snaps her out of it and goes, you might want to have a talk with Demir then. She has plans, it would seem.
Oh, I love it when Demir has plans. All right. Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, you think on that, Volk. I missed you.
I missed you as well.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go find and say hi to Erin. And she will steal a little smooch. She quick as fuck. She's fast as fuck.
Like cheek or lip?
Yeah.
Cheek?
Yeah. She doesn't want to actually like shatter Volk into a million pieces.
Yeah, so like as you scuttle out the door, Valk's just kind of
useless lesbian.
Yep.
I love her.
All
right.
the useless.
All the lesbian. Oh my god. Yep, she's gonna go scuttle off and find Erin next.
What time of day is it right now?
It's evening. The brain has been released into the house. The kids are doing their 12-year-old sibling thing and we're bickering with each other. I included your description of your room in the document I posted to the chat, and I pinned it.
Okay.
But otherwise, the house is yours.
All right. I think Aaron's up in his room. If he's gonna go find him. When she opens the door, I won't narrate that. But yeah, I think Aaron's up in his room. You can hear faint humming coming from inside of it.
Maybe comes rolling up.
If Fleavy's just opening up the door.
No, she knocks. She knocks.
Yeah. He sings something over, and then like there's a slight pause, and then he says, "In common, come on in."
She'll open the door. Poke her head in.
Aaron is Hi, Levy. He's standing in the middle of his room, having dragged one of his mannequins out into the middle of it, and the mannequin has his big ball gown on it, and he's taken a step back from it, but he still has one of his hands like on its waist, and it is very clear he has been dancing with this mannequin before you arrived, but now the other hand is off and he's waving at you with it. Hi, Levy.
Aaron, I'm not disrupting nothing. Hey, look at you. Get all fancy
come on
with
in,
it.
come on in.
Awesome. All right. Hello.
door crack again.
Disrupting anything. I haven't seen you in so long.
I missed everybody so much. How have you been? She, come here. And she's like, come, give me a hug.
He's running over. He's running over and he's, leaping at her.
She's like, what? Okay. All right. We're very excited. Oh my goodness. What did I do? Trying to take me out? Jesus Christ. It's fantasy Jesus Christ.
And Aaron at that'll, take a step back and then flex and say, well, I did take down Volk, so I don't know.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's been a time out there. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, Demir said she was gonna give me the rundown later.
All right.
But,
Well, I
mean,
won't.
If you want to share a little bit of your own just personal experience with it, I'd love to hear.
Yeah. Let's see. What's notable? We met another really suspicious person who seems like they might know us. Or maybe not. I honestly couldn't really tell what happened in that interaction. Yeah, they had like a full shifting face. They tried to like give us a boat. But I don't think they were Fae, but I know with Fae you aren't supposed to like accept gifts and then like them, because that like might imply you owe them something. So we didn't take the boat. We ended up just walking through the water, which actually might have been a mistake, because then all the towers were raining acid down on us. But I mean, it worked out.
Don't worry about y'all.
I worry about us a lot too, but it's been really nice not having to worry about you for a bit.
Yeah.
You've been doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I think I'm about ready to come back out.
Oh. And
Rejoin.
like Aaron smiles at that, but there's a little hesitation before he does so.
Insight check. God damn it. 7.
He rolled really badly too. I actually don't have Roll20 open, so let me check what his stats on the roll I'm making are real quick.
All good.
That'll be a... Nope, that's a 4. Idiot on idiot contact.
Cloud to cloud communication.
Cloud to cloud communication.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on here?
Yeah. He does a terrible job of concealing it. His initial reaction to that is negative, is like maybe even a little afraid. He looks like taken aback, like, oh, okay. And then just quickly scrambles to put on a nice little, oh yeah, that's great, that's good. Little smile on top of it.
Head tilt. Hands on hips. Slow smile. Now, Erin.
Well, just you seem like you've been doing good down here.
I have been. The whole point of me being doing well here was so that I wouldn't be a liability out there. I'll have to be in the grave before I let y'all actually go out there and solve all of this by yourselves without me there.
I don't think we could solve it all without you.
Like, there's only so much I can do for y'all from here, especially since communication is pretty fucking limited.
Yeah,
Not that I don't
you said
appreciate
she's
all of Demir's, telephoning, but or whatever. Phones don't exist. Shit. Not that I don't appreciate Demir's calls, but it's not terribly efficient, is it?
I do think I'd heard that you were like just asleep on a few of them.
I mean, yeah, she woke me up a couple of times. It's fine. It's important. It's important for me to be there for you guys and to watch your backs. The whole point of me getting better is so I can do that better.
All right. Well, but if you're there, just you sure you aren't gonna get worse again back out there?
I think I'll be all right. I think I've got myself together pretty well.
All right. Well, that's
backed
really
up by
good to hear.
professional opinion, so it's
Oh, a
all right.
professional.
Uh-huh.
Professional.
You think I did all this
feeling
myself?
good
Jeez.
person?
I've been sitting here worried about y'all. Y'all have been out there and I haven't been able to help. Of course I'm gonna come back out with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. I worry a lot out there about us too.
Uh-huh. So the extra hand and firepower, and she'll like dance some like shocking grass sparks through her fingers for effect.
And actually wait, let me roll on this one. Aaron, how bad do you? Oh, that's a 1. Okay. And Aaron's gonna mutter under his breath, and the extra potential corpse. Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't just say that. And she's gonna do the pat to the side of his face. You said it now, and she's out. She's like, I am not touching that right now. I am not. That's gonna spoil this whole fucking reunion. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with
it. Aaron just stands there in the doorway watching for a few minutes and then just closes the door in front of him.
Leash. You're next.
I mean, Levy probably runs into him looking for her.
She looks a little. She's still got a tight smile on her face. She's like, she cannot believe Aaron right now.
The gall. Lish probably turns a corner and spots her and kind of stops and kind of holds his arms out towards her for her to come over if she wants to, and just, Livnara, you look well.
Hi. And the frustration just kind of drops off her. It's just new conversation, different person. She's putting it down.
Flutter over and land in your hair.
Hello to all of you. So good to see all of you.
Note for the DM about the Pixies seeing the bedroom. I'm sure that they saw that bedroom and they went screaming, just high-pitched screams just to see everything in there.
Every dog in a
Anyways.
5-mile radius is going absolutely bonkers.
Yep.
Between the fairies and Valk.
And she just, the frustration drops off of her, and she greets the pixies with like like holding her fingers out for them to like just and then she'll come up.
They started
she'll-
doing random braids at random angles in your hair.
That's fine. She's delighted.
One of them's got the crimping iron out.
And she'll come right up to Lish and wrap her arms around his neck and lean into him and just kind of all whatever she was just mad at Erin for a second there is just gone. Like she's just like, hello.
And he just gives her a squeeze that just squeezes all the stress out of her and gives her a kiss.
She's just like, hi, oh my goodness, I missed everybody so much and I've been so worried. And how are you, Lish?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad that y'all could make it and see what's been done with the place.
Yes, it's quite an accomplishment. And I'm glad that you were here in order to direct them, so we don't come back and see just a pile of rubble on the ground.
I mean, I doubt it would have come to that. They seemed rather competent. I just made sure that
Come back and it's all mid-century modern.
She's just like, no, they seem rather competent. I was just making sure that all the littler details came together fine. Do you like your room? I tried to make sure that it went according to Demir's plans.
Oh, yes. I think it is very reminiscent of home.
Good.
Do you like it?
What, the house?
The
Or
room?
the room? Yours? I think it's lovely. It's very cozy.
Good.
I've mostly been bumming it in my room, and mine and Toby's room, because I didn't want to intrude on anybody else's space, but I was sorely tempted by there's a pile of pillows in there, right?
It's the whole damn thing is like plush.
I was sorely tempted, let me tell you.
I don't see why you wouldn't feel free to come in and relax.
Well, I mean, it's your guys' room. I wanted you guys to get like the first enjoyment, I guess.
I suppose I can understand. Regardless, it looks well. It all looks very good.
Good. I'm very glad. And now I have to ask, actually, because I just left conversation with Erin, and Demir was implying something somewhere a little bit. I caught some. Y'all are okay with me coming back out with you, right?
I don't see why not.
Because they seem rather not necessarily against it, but ill-content with the notion.
I think that they worry for you.
Suppose that's fair, considering.
Just
But
as much as you worry about us.
That is fair. I don't want the worry to get in the way of us being a team,
Because I mean, the whole reason I split off for a little bit and came to take care of me and this here was so that I could come back out and I wouldn't none of the less savory things on my end would happen again. Because I don't want to contribute to the danger out there by being like unstable and unreliable.
Levy, do you feel well?
Yes, I feel fantastic.
We've
I feel
only
ready to
just
come
arrived.
back.
We have only just arrived back at the house. Perhaps give everybody a little bit of time to see how well you are.
I guess I'm just raring to go. I missed everybody. I missed you.
I'm excited to have you back with us. As it currently stands, as we were out and about, there wasn't much of a moment where everyone wasn't commenting how they would like to have you with us.
Well, that's mighty reassuring. Thank you, Lish. Sorry to trouble you with that. Or rather, just thank you for your insight. I was told to apologize less.
Lish just kind of nods and smiles and says, it would be a wise decision, especially if we are heading towards the Feywild eventually.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's such a shame. I'll be seeing your home in whatever state the rest of them have put it in. But I'm still excited to see your home.
No, like his face kind of twists a little bit at the thought of that.
I'm still excited to see your home, and I just hope that there's still a bit of you to be seen as well.
I think Fiola lacks the design sensibilities to make any kind of strong, lasting impact.
Of course.
Whatever she's done is a layer of permafrost over seed beds. It's not going to make much of a difference, one would hope. Faces over there.
She's sitting there, like she's got a hand on the side of her face, and she's just sitting there, like looking at him, like, ooh.
He's bitter. But he kind of shakes his head.
Sorry, I just love it when you bare your fangs a little bit. Not intended, you druid fuck.
Lish kind of like leans towards her face a little bit more, and he gets this like sharp smile. And he's just like, "Oh, do you now?"
Mm-hmm. She's just like, no shame.
You better be careful, or I might just drag you back to experience the bedroom in more detail than you've experienced it before.
Oh no, what a shame.
He's going to take her up a way and bring her back to Demir. He does it enough.
Yeah. Like, I know. Oh no, you wouldn't dare. No.
All right. And scene.
Yeah. So you all find rest one way or another. The next morning, there is a knock on the door.
Downstairs, front door.
Front door.
Who's
Levy,
close? Who's closest?
Levy, I feel, has like a sixth sense for the house at this point. Or something. Like she's been holding down the fort by herself for a while. So she just kind of like the knock goes off and she gets up. Because she's so used to like managing the house.
Demir just whining on the bed because her secondary source of heat has disappeared.
When
on.
Levy gets up, Tobias will as well, since it's a disruption in the environment, or it's a change, and he's fine-tuned to that stuff.
Tobias, do you go with Levy to answer the door?
Yes.
Okay.
She pulls her robe on and goes to answer. Goes like she's definitely got one of those like little chain locks on the door, and it's like she's got a couple of them, and I feel like one's silver and one's like cold eye. Like she's paranoid, okay? She's not fucking around. She knows what's in her house and what she would like to keep out of her house.
As they head down to the front door, Tobias is just gonna murmur, "Better not be that fucking vampire." Like, if it's that fucking vampire.
Better not be the fucking vampire. It's probably not the fucking vampire. I swear to God, it's the fucking vampire. And she cracks the door open with the chain still like lashed and peeks out.
So you see a couple things outside. There's firstly a few workers to continue the work on Demir and Lish's porch. You recognize gnomish figure who is in charge of that aspect. You also see a half-orc woman who is unfamiliar to you, Levy. But Tobias, you know that this is Zota.
Zota! Levy, this is our friend Zota.
It's me, the fucking vampire.
Get shanked immediately.
Just one stake. No.
Just a joke, of course.
Oh my God. And she goes, ow, ow, okay. And she'll unlatch the door and open it up and be like, now, my housemate, and she'll address the contractors first, and she'll be like, my housemates are back, evidently, and she'll gesture to Toby. I don't know what state of dress Toby is in, actually.
He'll be dressed not in his full armor, but in clothing. Like it
Okay.
is kind of casual. Or the underlayer. Like
The gnome says, aye, that's fine, miss. We'll just head right upstairs and begin working on the porch. We have our men outside just to prepare featherful just in case. We're ready to continue working.
Right. Let me. The cuddle pile had blankets over them, right?
Huh?
The cuddle pile had blankets over them, right? Okay, good. Okay, good. We're good. Just don't mind. The room's kind of sort of in use, and she's kind of going red a little bit. She's like, ah!
Damn, I've been in this business for a long time.
Right. Okay. Well,
I've
that's
seen
it's fine. Let
interesting
me.
things.
You know what? They're a little
Kind of
cagey. Let me
marches
just.
upstairs.
I doubt he hasn't seen this.
Levy, the range on her telepathy is like, I think 90 to 180 feet. Either way, I think that's probably enough to hang on. Fuck is it? What the fuck is it? Line link telepathically to any creature you can see. No. Shit. She can't. She's gonna yell up the stairs. Contractors incoming. So sorry.
Get decent.
Just to warn that somebody's about to be, and a stranger's about to be in that room, so nobody gets fucking Aldric blasted or something.
Listen, Demir, do you do anything to prepare?
I mean, there's so many like drapes and stuff. Like, I feel like they probably just like pull those around and I don't know, but bundle up under the blankets some more.
Cool.
I mean, you're casting Grasp of Hadar on the.
The contractors do not give a shit about your presence whatsoever. They don't even really glance your way other than to acknowledge, like, hey, there's people in here, whatever. Just march right over to the doors that were installed and leave to start working on the forge.
There's
Once the drills and
Kinda-
saws and stuff start going, I think Lish will be just like, oh my fucking god.
Demir is going to.
with Levy and Tobias, though.
Oh. Demir just kind of like looks at the contractors who just like walk the fuck into their marital bedroom, and she's just gonna like cast invisibility on herself and go get dressed.
oh my god, help. Levy's kind of turning back to Zota and like wincing, like, God, hi, it's so lovely to meet you. I'm sorry.
This half-orc lady with the black braided hair, she was in leather armor when she was adventuring with Roses, but since she's back at home, she's basically wearing the equivalent of like slacks and a tasteful crop top, guns out, abs out.
Good for her.
Just like, no, it's fine. It's still really early in the morning. She's got like a bagel in her hand, like half eaten.
Come in. Is it a school day for the children?
No.
Okay. Come in. Nobody else is really up.
Saturday.
Come on in. Nobody else is really up yet, but
Yeah, they all seem like late sleepers to me.
Not entirely true, as you hear a thump from outside. As Valk walks over with her having used her wings to get down from the widow's walk. She's extra. Also, if there was a threat, she needed to be ready.
good morning, Valk.
Morning.
Got you
Morning,
busy.
Zota
Zota.
just like twisted around, like, oh, good morning.
God, Levy miss these fuckers. She like the fond exasperation upon her is it's there. It's out in the open.
Owen's gonna stumble out of his room, not having been woken up by any of the calls or the talking, but having been woken up by Valk's fucking entrance.
Probably just like the thudding on the roof or something.
So Aaron just, is out of his room and is down. And he's currently in one of the dresses he picked off the wizards. So he just has this like gauzy white fringe thing just like barely hanging over him, and he's rubbing his eyes and everything.
When
Oh,
Tobias
hey,
is thinking
Zota.
this, oh, that looks good on your hair.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks,
Hi.
Levy.
It was
And then
Tobias
he's
that
gonna-
said it.
It was
He's gonna, reach up to his face like he's rubbing his eyes again, and sneak his hand over to his ear instead. And he is going to message Levy. Sorry for being awkward last night. I was taking my anxieties out on you. I'm real glad to see you.
Levy will cant her head to the side and nod and response and in response to think it here and all right, we're good then. Happy to see you too.
Oh, I should let you guys know. I think Professor Itis might also be on his way. I'm not sure. obviously he's not with me, but he might show up eventually. I debriefed him on everything that we saw at the Spire. Well, almost everything.
Good, we can begin.
Wait. I personally am having a brain. That's Aldric, right?
Yeah, it's Aldric.
Okay, cool.
Zota is not on the first name basis with their transmutation
Okay,
professor.
just making sure. Oh, lovely.
Good, we can set in motion the research necessary that we can move forwards.
I have to go organize my notes.
Yeah, we found a doom
Notes?
portal and we need to update you on.
You fucking what? You didn't think to tell me about this last night.
I thought Demir had given like a brief rundown of stuff last session.
Yeah, somebody did. I know I did.
Well, I know Demir as well, so because there's that brief moment when Levy and Demir were initially talking before the tour of the house started.
I think the real question here is if Felix knows what went down.
They called Demir out on her bullshit, but how much detail was provided to Levy is up to you guys.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, we could make it a short little thing of just like paraphrasing
I think
what
we
happened.
told her
I
a
think,
good
like-
chunk. I
Yeah, I
remember
think-
monologuing at somebody, and I thought it was Levy.
Okay, cool. I did not know this. I
Nah,
probably
it's
should have
okay. I
checked
think-
before.
I think
Sorry.
probably at some point, Demir gave the info dump about what all has transpired. At least like as far as going to the tower, what we discovered there, the scary doom portal, all
The
that
Durgan.
stuff. The Durgan that is probably still out there.
Hawk abandoning us forever.
She does not mention Hawk. And she does not talk about the shrine on the way over, but she does at least like give all the other points, basically.
The party plot points.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Neat. Then, yeah, no, Levy's gonna shuffle off to the library for her notes. She'll.
So I was going to follow and see her probably just like the conspiracy board equivalent and be actually impressed.
Yeah, there's like a wall covered in stuff, and then there's. I feel like there's like a couple of like desks / tables covered in lore. And there's stacks of active, like more or less active in use, like study material that she needs for like quick grab and reference and such. And it's all like it's chaotic, but it's an organized chaos.
Wow, what are you researching? This is all
Us.
about the time stuff, right? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, there's a lot.
Another knock on the door at this point.
That's probably Professor Itis. Wouldn't hurt to check.
Could somebody let him in? Huh? There's too much going on at once this morning. Jesus Christ.
So Bias can go let him in.
It is Professor Itis. He has come bearing enough pastries to feed all of the wild roses plus Zota and the 2 kids.
Woo!
Good morning. It's good to see you back.
Good morning to you too, as well, Professor. It's good to see you again. Come inside. Come inside. And Tobias will usher him in.
He starts making his way to the library immediately. It's very clear that this is something he's done a lot within the past few weeks.
Zota sees the pastries. It has the natural college kid to donut reaction. Just like,
Yes.
Good morning, Levy. I also brought along breakfast for everyone here, including the kids.
Oh, there's kids
Oh,
here?
you're a saint. Thank you, Aldric. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness.
I
just got
imagine that they're
terribly
still
sorry.
sleeping in at this point, but there will be food for them nonetheless.
Yeah. It's a slow morning.
Perfectly all right. So should we wait for the others to get here before discussing what was discovered? I've been informed that there's a strange portal of some
I
sort.
believe Volk just referred to it to me as a doom portal. I don't like that.
Doom
Wait,
is
that sounds
tentative.
very safe. Why don't you gather the others? And I will see what resources I can provide based upon your description.
Lovely and wonderful. You know where the coffee is. If you start some for you, could you make extra for me? Anyways, I'm gonna go get everybody
Absolutely.
else.
Starts
You're
making
great.
its way over to the kitchen.
Very
so
cool.
you've never seen Professor Idas have like such a casual relationship with anyone before. Like he's a chill dude, but he tends to be pretty reserved. So the fact that he's like in this house, bringing over breakfast, knowing where he's going, and then going off to go make coffee, like, okay, he definitely knows these people.
They're
Yeah, she's like,
besties.
she's mentally like, wow, they weren't kidding.
They're besties.
I can't remember for the life of me. Has Valk actually met Aldris?
Aldric.
Briefly. You met him briefly.
Yeah, when we were dropping off the cursed item?
That would have to be it, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Levy's gonna go poking on Demir and Lish first and go, Aldric's here. Time for swapping notes and getting down to business, I guess. He brought breakfast though, and he's making coffee.
Lish will be up and ready to head downstairs. Coffee sounds wonderful. I'm still invisible.
Jesus Christ. Demir.
Like an inch from Levy's face.
Levy just kind of goes, Demir, honey, I cannot fucking see you.
Warlock jump scare moment.
Right. Right. Levy is absolutely getting a bum flap on as Demir goes past her.
You better be dressed. That she'll come get the fucking kids up next. She'll knock on the door.
You hear Egress say, "No."
And she'll crack the door open.
Blanket.
Oh, she'll crack the door open. She won't like turn on the light. She's not evil. She'll crack the door open and poke her head in and go, you don't have to get up yet. I just wanted to let you know that the professor is here and he brought pastries for breakfast. So whenever you guys are up and about, we'll be in the dining room with all the study stuff, and you can just come on in and get some food.
As soon as you said you don't have to get up yet, like Egress kind of just the lump of blankets on his bed that is the tiefling child kind of just gets smaller, and like he's clearly blocking you out. Echo will kind of like slouch up, roused at the thought of coffee. Like her hair is all sticking up on one side, but she'll come down and get some pastries.
Fuck yeah. Levy will be a bastard and ruffle her hair gently, just to be a mom about it.
She's too tired to care at this point. She kind of wanders into the library, picks up one of the pastries, puts it in her mouth, and then goes back upstairs.
Levy makes sure that she takes one for egress.
All right.
Valk is just bread.
Only
So
want
is
a
Sniv,
pastry.
for that matter. Sniv has taken one and like retreated to the corner and just with it in his mouth.
Do a barrel
Right.
roll.
Oh my god. She'll come back down with everybody and obviously with the kid, make sure the other kid gets food taken up. All of that. Momsy, oh my god, I'm barely awake. Jesus Christ. And she'll kind of slump into a chair, probably next to Toby. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then cup of coffee. Just hold a hand out for a cup of coffee. Somebody please God caffeinate this woman.
Valk hands her the coffee that she was drinking out of and goes to get a different cup.
Leafy just shrugs and starts slugging that shit back.
Valk's a weirdo. Deal with it.
All right. Study time. Let's do it.
So
So does
how
Pro-
much
her-
do you tell Aldric?
Sorry, what'd you say?
How much do you guys tell Aldric?
Valk doesn't know the
Um,
gentleman, so she's just kind of
I will say-
standing and waiting for
I
other
will say
people's
that
cues.
Zota's primer at least consisted of the three archmages are dead. Two of the archmages are dead. One of them has potentially caused the time disturbances, the definite in particular, and has left behind a portal possibly to his destination.
Yeah, I think that's basically like what Demir will like, or what Demir would say at least is, what we found at the tower, the portal, that we know it's the indefinite that's behind it. We have the heads of the two other archmages for potential questioning. They were dead already when we got there. And yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about the mask maker?
I don't think that's relevant.
Yeah, it's not relevant, so we won't say anything about that. But
The-
yeah, basically,
I would say, sorry, the only reason you would bring the mask maker is to see if I keep wanting to call him Eider, and that is not correct. See if the world shifter knows Aldric. To see if Aldric knows anything about what that thing could be, or if the college has an idea, but that's very unlikely.
There's also the
Yeah.
potential because knowing that the mask makers, they said that they served like the Void Queen,
yeah.
and the fact that it's clearly there's something that's on the level of like a god or something, whatever, where it's above like the prime material plane, that allows it. It knows more than normal creatures do. Like
Yeah,
it
I would.
seems to have some form of like either omniscience or something.
I think what Demir would do is basically like on our way to the tower, we encountered a creature that introduced itself as the mask maker, and seemed to be from at least beyond this time and beyond this plane, that served a void queen, but that was it. And then just kind of move on to explaining what was in the tower. So the vague outline, but none of the specifics or the details.
All right.
Does Demir have access to illusionary magic? I can't remember.
I do. I would I think as she's describing specifically the portal, she would use minor illusion to create a little miniature of it.
Okay. Let me grab one of my resource books just so I can figure out how Aldric would phrase something.
Valid.
We must consult the tomb. Tome, not tomb.
Both. Why not both?
Porque no los dos.
Gotta look up the wizard words.
Thank you for your patience.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite things to think about is like, how would a character phrase something that we see?
Here's all the stuff I've been talking about, by the way, in terms of the planes. I don't know if any of you actually looked at those books, but
I know Lich did.
I'm familiar with the planes.
I feel like Zota would be familiar with them only through study. Like, it's probably part of a Wizardry 101 kind of thing. Just like, hey, you need to know what the planes are and where they are in order to actually pull a fireball and not an ice ball.
So this creature that you mentioned, and I am not familiar with an entity known as the Void Queen. That is definitely something to keep an eye on. As for the portal that you are describing, and he glances at the little minor illusion that Demir is holding. Portals to different realms tend to look a certain way depending on where they lead to. For example, I've done some research on the subject after that portal you found in your garden. Portals to the Shadowfell tends to be more of a dusky gray. They might take the shape of pools or curtains. Feywild portals are known to be more of an opalescent white, and portals to the elemental planes of air, earth, fire, and water tend to take on the aspect of pale blue, reddish brown, orange, or green, respectively.
Well, this matches none of that.
Exactly. So, this... Did it look more like, to you, it was a curtain or a pool? For you guys, for reference, it felt more like a pool of mist.
A hole in the universe.
I mean, yes, that's what most portals are.
It felt like a pool of mist, or it appeared like one.
Did it have any sort of pull to you guys, or draw?
They
None
did
that we could tell.
Yeah, they tested it a couple of ways. It didn't seem to have any suction properties of any kind.
Right. Some of the pools to different realms. The Nine Hells, for example, it would be appear more of a pool of ruby, whereas Elysium would be orange. The ethereal plane itself would be sort of a spiraling white. But the thing that you're describing doesn't match any of that.
I'm
So
afraid
It
that
is
almost
not-
checks out.
It's not to another plane that we know of. For all intents and purposes, we believe it is through time.
So it sort of nods along.
what sort of evidence do you have that it is a pool through time?
Oh,
It is all that the mage wanted. It was his goal.
Oh, Professor, I didn't brief you on my notes on their Speak Dead, did I? Right. The corpses that were left behind of Archmages Tariel and Ilmadia told us all that Eider and the Indefinite sought to carve out a path through time to bring back some of his long lost loved ones. Valkyria had Ilmadia analyze the portal with what knowledge was left, and she couldn't.
While Zota was explaining that, Valk can kind of wandered out of the room, and at the end of it wanders back in and is holding one of the rocks from
from Maxim's laboratory, right?
From Maxim's laboratory, and goes, does this match at all from your opinion?
May I? He holds his hand out for
the. She sees no issue handing it over, so.
I'm gonna roll for him. See if he can. Identify. I mean, he can't really use the spell, but he's gonna look over the rock.
Because as you were saying, the different portals leave different elemental or magical traces. Would this potentially match it?
Nothing. Okay. So he kind of looks it over and says, "This does not really remind me of any of the portals or pools, but it rather reminds me of something I read in Nectar to the Upper Plane. I have to find the specific book."
Perhaps the portal's not directly a portal through time, but a portal to a plane where time is less of a constant, perhaps.
Or his own demi-plane.
That could be
That is possible.
potentially any number of planes.
Well, we do know that the Archmages, or the one that made the portal, he has something to do with the disappearance of Mithra. Could the portal be leading to her plane? Could that be the start of it, where he wanted to make a portal to her plane so that he could consume the power or whatever, so that he would be able to do what he wants to do, which is traverse through time to reunite with his dead family? Could that potentially be what it is?
Have Aldric roll a religion check, by the way. Let's see.
Sounds like a good idea. It's also possible that maybe he used the power of the goddess of magic to open the portal in the first place. It was a very big portal after all, and it's to some place that even the Archmage couldn't figure out.
Or at least couldn't identify in their
Posthumous state, yeah.
yeah.
We do also have to consider that because someone has been tampering with Mithra, it's been causing people to forget her influence on the world itself.
The gods exist differently than we do.
So, to my knowledge, the goddess Mistra is neither good nor evil, and would frequently travel between the upper planes and the lower planes. He could, well, potentially have, if my theory is correct, I'd have to run some more tests on the stones and find the book I'm looking for. But it's quite possible that this Archmage has traveled to the upper planes in search of Mista. To what end, I'm not certain, but if, as you say, he has been disappearing. He kind of trails off and is thinking and examining the stone in his hand.
Levy. One of the heads mentioned the Indefinite's wife existing, or at least being buried, at which point Val kind of rifles through the papers until she finds a map and points to the farmland area that the head indicated, and goes, she was buried in this area. Has any of the instances of us been, or us out of time, been in this area?
General area was human farmland, just to remind. That's probably a demon answer, though.
So you were not given a specific location that she was buried. In fact, most of the country of Thea is farmland. You know, historically, that there was a volcano in the mountain range to the west that centuries ago exploded, leaving a caldera behind. But the ash from this volcano had spread over much of the land, creating fertile soil. So really, they could be buried anywhere. Levy, however, you do know that one instance that is for sure you guys mentioned in history is some sort of elemental brawl that went on in the 6th era, which would have been way after that, the wife of the Indefinite would have perished.
So can she get an approximate, I don't know, just like a general area of where she might be buried from that, or
Yeah,
just a wild fucking guess?
thinking. more or less in this area, you gather just based on the context.
Okay. So, okay. That's
You
not
do know
too-
that the farmland in question was destroyed due to the shenanigans. But at this point, it's been centuries after that, so whatever
Yeah.
damage was there has probably been repaired.
Okay.
And a follow-up question. When was the last yellow dragon existed? Which era?
Ooh.
I think the third era. Hold on.
At which point would the Indefinite's wife be, her death be from the third era? So perhaps the dragon came from that leak?
Let me just
I
double
mean,
check.
yeah, I mean, we are assuming that it's all tied to anything. I don't think it's
Well, if
that.
it's not tied to anything, there really isn't much we can do.
There's a pattern, we just can't see it, obviously.
As far as the leaks go, leaks have been from a couple of months to a couple of years to a couple of decades to a couple of centuries. It has been pockets of different time wibbly wobbliness. I don't know if it's all leaking from one place that has been traveled to.
I'd
Well,
like to say a general history check to figure out
Me?
the area. Yeah,
Okay.
anyone, I guess.
Not me.
Oh,
Sure.
fucking Christ.
I'll give whoever some help.
Help your wife.
Hang on. Yeah, go ahead. Help your wife. Super quick. History. Oh. 22. I forgot. I'm really good
Oh.
at that.
I'll roll one as well, because I also forgot.
Alright.
She's got a decent history score. That's a 16.
Because no, obviously the lesser anomalies are aftershock, as it were, but the greater time anomalies could be assumed to be where an equivalent of
That's
an
a-
earthquake.
That's a
Right?
dirty 20 for my history check. If I got advantage from Lish.
I do have a response to the theory lined up from Zota, but I'm gonna wait for Avery to give results on the rolls.
So Zota, you've heard of yellow dragons. You do know that they went extinct allegedly around the 5th era of the Serpentine era, in which there was sort of a power grab between Tiamat and Bahamut, and all of the yellow dragons, they're not really sure why these strange people are bringing them up now, but yellow dragons went extinct in that era, but you do know that any potential survivors were driven underground and they're probably long dead. Levy and Demir, just what you know about the history of Island and Thea and the continent as a whole, and for lack of a better descriptor, the vibes of the Archmages. It's quite possible that if given, well, here, let me talk to Demir about this first, since you got a 20 rather than a 22. You would suspect maybe that potentially the indefinite wife lived sometime within Era 4, which is the arcane era. That is when the country of Island was like established. Or at least the clusters of magocracies that would eventually become Island were established. So it's probably a good guess. Levy, kind of expanding upon this, based off of what you know and what the others have told you, it sounds like these archmages made some sort of pact that would allow them to expand their lifetime. So it is very feasible that these people, being elves, would live a long time anyway, but given the fact that they are elves, plus this added extra lifetime magic, whatever it is, it's genuinely very possible that anyone they knew, any families they might have had, could have lived and died within the arcane era, even as elves, and that the archmages would have continued onward.
Yeah, just real quick, Zota would like to add the thought of like, I'd say it really depends on the nature of the break as well, because obviously time is breaking. And when I've explained it to other people in the past, I've liked to say that fixing time, the idea of it is much like a tapestry. If something is torn, then you need to learn how to tailor to fix it. That's why I studied chronergy. But it's also possible there's less of an unraveling and more of like a cracked egg. There might not be any order to it.
Right.
But even if it's a cracked egg, there's where the original puncture happened and then it cracked from there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Impact. Or something. What if we see it less as something that is breaking and more that perhaps because of traces of Mistra disappearing, if I have that right, I hope I do.
Yes.
Okay. Rather that something is missing a piece of the greater whole, a keystone in an archway, if you will, has been removed, and it's less that time is breaking and rather that everything is collapsing in on itself.
So does
Wasn't
eyes
there
go.
that one dream or prophecy or voice or something that told us that Mithra was consumed? And that was why stuff was starting to unravel. Because I remember there was talk before of, I can't remember who or what told us.
Wasn't it the mirror?
Oh, it might have been the mirror.
Either the mirror or the mask dude. I think.
Well, it was quite a while ago. It wasn't the masked figure, but it might have been the mirror or something where it revealed Mithra had been confused, had been consumed or something, and that the other gods were like afraid of what
I think it was
consumed
the
her.
hag. Or it could have been something that even before that. I don't know.
Because anything that can consume a god can consume other gods.
If I remember, it was from Demir's question to the mirror.
Okay.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
And Mistra being the goddess of magic, her domain would be one of the more powerful domains, since it literally warps others' domains.
She wasn't just the goddess of magic, though. She was also the goddess of time.
As I said,
Yeah.
powerful
Zota's-
domain that affects all other domains.
Zota's eyes have sort of widened a little bit ago, and she's sort of been like on the table. She's like, oh god, I really hope he didn't do that. It's if Mr. is disappearing, it's altogether possible that the Indefinites created a paradox.
That would certainly explain the time cake.
If he succeeded in going back in time and did something to Mistra to remove her existence from the timeline, that would explain why she's missing, and it would also explain everything else that's happening. But at the same time, it's amazing that things have even been held together for as long as they have. That's true.
Well, if it's being held together, it could be that it's fixed and we created a double paradox. Of course, then we're dealing with a cake situation, not a loop situation, because our dreams are memories from the other timeline, and the timeline has changed due to his actions.
This is all so confusing.
Hey, I'm just the idea guy. I don't figure out if it actually is viable.
Regardless, whatever is happening originated from the tower and that portal we found. You know, something that it seems like every single timeline has in common that we have never seemed to have tried is to just stop getting involved.
That wouldn't fix anything.
Yeah, someone has to restore Mistra, and unfortunately, if
But
no one else is
clearly,
going to do it,
can't be us. We haven't
not?
succeeded once. In fact,
as far,
we have had more failures than successes, if anything is to be believed.
all that we
keep
can
on
tell is
trying,
we
and
failed
keep on
once.
failing. So why don't we stop trying? Leave it
Because-
to someone else to fix.
Because the only way to truly fail is to stop trying.
I'm just suggesting, given that.
Personally, I'm not going to stop trying. So
Perhaps we need more allies in this. Saying that, Valk glances meaningfully at Lish.
What the fuck you want from me? Lish gives you a look like what?
as in,
We have company, and it's not my secret to divulge.
all right, well, all that aside, we do need more people in on this because Demir has a point in that we, as a very small group, are out of our depth. And granted, the possibility of there being too many cooks in the kitchen eventually, I think if we pick the right people to help us out, we could figure something about this out at least and make some kind of progress. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not okay with sitting by and just letting reality itself just fall to pieces.
That
Thank you
seems
very
like
much.
too much of a burden for just 6 adventures, right?
Yes,
There
that's exactly what I'm saying.
are mages that handle this sort of shit all the time. It's their job to keep kingdoms from collapsing and keep reality from unraveling, and it doesn't have to be our job.
Well,
Mages
the
We are
mages weren't able to
nobody.
do it.
We are
because
nobodies who have
Clearly-
fucked it up every time.
Clearly,
We fucked it
we're
up
not
once.
nobody because we're sitting here raveled into the very fabric of this through history, or did we forget our initial discoveries in our library here? We're relevant. Just because we keep messing up doesn't mean that we have it all wrong and we'll continue to have it all wrong. I think we're getting somewhere. It's just slow. I know it's frustrating, but shit.
And maybe because we are tied into this, we're the only ones who are able to fix this.
Maybe.
If I may cut in,
Absolutely.
I know it seems overwhelming, but I can see that you all have made a great deal of progress in a short amount of time. I do think that if you were to attempt to jump into this, as you put it, doom portal straight away, that would lead to failure. However, if you take your time, what time you can, gather assistance like myself, and I would be able to reach out to my own former party members and see what assistance they would be able to provide. I will be willing to help you. I would also recommend trying to reach out to those in the Luminescent Citadel in Avatix and see what the royal armies can do to assist. However, I think that one of the best things to do at the moment is to attempt to do as much research as possible so you know exactly how to tackle this. What sort of leads do you have?
We have the name of the wife. We have the heads of the archmages.
The Temple of Mistra.
Right. There was the decrepit temple. I think it was north of Havitix somewhere.
Which I can pull.
It was north
What?
of Uzila.
Uvila, right.
And
Oh, that's
that
right.
was the
Chicken.
place where we ran into the chickens, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
And I can pull what favors I have within the church of Tyr and Torm.
You've already got Professor Aldric and Professor Itis helping you out, so anything I could provide is sort of moot. But I'm still in this. This is sort of my field of specialty, after all.
And the fact that you actually understand time magic is probably the most valuable piece of information we have here.
I'll find those cosmic crochet needles yet.
All right.
And we have Varhasa as well.
We do have Varhasa. Have we heard
He
anything
is a-
from her since we last talked?
Yeah. She had messaged us while we were in the tower. Tasha was there. But yeah, that was the last I had heard from her.
You ever get back to her about that?
And
No.
while I wouldn't necessarily say she is an ally, I could say that she's a resource and in her own self-interest would like to not see the universe implode. We could always contact the hag for more information.
If she hasn't departed this plane already.
There are ways to contact her across planes.
Poet is off trying to find her right now to fulfill his end of the bargain.
There is your cousin, who would be a way to get in contact with the hag, as Valk nods at Levy.
She's not used to being so important. She's
I hope I don't need to tell you guys to be careful about that. That laughter does not instill confidence in me, Valk.
Tell me all that you know about it, Zota. I would love to hear what you'd have to say.
What about hags?
Oh, yes.
Lish,
I don't
stop
know about
poking
this.
the wizard. We need to focus on our time issues. We know enough about dealing with hags thanks to your expertise.
I don't know anything more than anyone else does, which is to not mess with the Fae.
Lish sitting there with a predatory grin.
Lish sitting there leaning back, listening.
Nevertheless, it sounds like that you have several avenues of research at your disposal. In the meantime, I will be doing my own research. I will let you know what I find. I will, as I mentioned, get into contact with my previous party. And mentally travel to the Turning Spire myself to do some investigation. Is there anything I should look out for there in particular?
Should we make Aldric's transversing of the tower easier? Cough, cough,
Pack a
wink,
lot
wink.
of dispels. Pack a lot of dispel magic.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
don't we
definitely.
have an extra bracelet?
We only
Probably.
have the one.
It is
I
only the
think.
one, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Perhaps we should see if we can duplicate this.
Probably. I did at least pick up a scroll of spell magic while I was back in town, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Even
Lish
got a-
kind of rattles the bracelet on his wrist.
Dispelling of magic and a understanding of the arcane is required to navigate the various demi-planes within the tower.
Very well.
Lish will take off the bracelet and show it to him and say, do you think that you could recreate the spell work on this? Make more of them.
Quite possible, but it would take some time.
Well, would you say it would take about a week or two?
Kind of looks over. Aha.
Well,
how convenient.
Perhaps
it,
look
it
into
feels it feels silly to be taking care of my dilemmas when we're having to deal with the fate of the universe, but if we can't do anything for a couple weeks, we can't do anything for a couple weeks.
Might as well just go take care of
You
some personal things in the
Care
meantime.
for the fate of the universe if you cannot care for yourself.
Besides, don't you think it might be a nice break from worrying about,
The fate of the-
existential dread and the rest?
Break for you guys, maybe.
Breaks can be rather. But nevertheless, I will keep in contact with you with what I can. And I would appreciate if you do so as well.
Of course.
Feel free to take me along on your trip, Professor. I was with them for their first visit after all, and maybe not their first visit, but I'll take
The
anything I
first
can
visit
get
in
to-
this timeline.
Yeah, I'll take anything I can get to advance my own research and maybe find a solution to this too. High hopes, I know, but
That is up to you if you wish to accompany me or otherwise. If you wish to assist in the larger group effort, that is your choice. Otherwise, I intend to be sending lots of messages and teleporting around the world to pick up my former companions.
if they'll
Speaking
have
of
me, I'll gladly come along. But
speaking of teleporting, Lish, would you be able to get me to and back from the chapel in Aira?
That's the one out at your place, yeah. The one we went to before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the oak tree that's probably your closest way to get to the wedding.
Mhm.
Oh, well, we're heading that way anyway. Never mind.
Do we want to go there now, or should we wait a little bit longer? The wedding's not for a while.
We can do what preparation we can here, but I would like to contact Whistling Torrent in person to get what aid I can from the churches.
We can go anytime, but perhaps not immediately. I have a couple of things that I would like to do.
Don't
Valk
you want
looks
to come and crash a wedding with us, Zota?
Crash a wedding, you say?
I don't know how many plus ones I get.
That's why we're crashing.
And Valk looks down at her like Witcher garb and goes kind of like, and this isn't exactly the best outfit for a formal engagement.
Falk has made a fatal mistake of mentioning that around Lish and Demir.
Outfits. Valkyria.
Do I hear a shopping trip?
I
I
actually
suppose we need
kind of
wedding
figured out
gowns.
what I want her to wear, and oh boy, is it gonna be cool.
But how kindly do we want to be approaching this?
I think we should be prepared to burn bridges, but shouldn't burn bridges until the need arises.
Okay,
So maybe not
two
wear
outfits.
white, but bring a change of clothes.
Oh, I think we can put something underneath.
Yeah. Get something that both that looks
Full of
nice
catching
and you
fire.
can move in.
Mhm.
You have some very strange wedding invitations, don't you?
The invitation isn't the weird part. It's the, well, I guess me part that makes it weird.
Beard seems to follow you guys around like coattails, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Have you never crashed a wedding before, Zota?
Haven't had the chance to even attend one yet.
Oh, well. We'll make sure
Well-
this one is a memorable one.
There's a tinge of menace to that I'm not sure I vibe with, but sure.
Oh no, it's great.
Everything Demir does has a tinge of menace.
It follows her
Demir's menace
around
is
like
great.
coattails.
Baron, your ball gown would upstage the bride. Wait. Do we want scandals? She's gonna look to Volk, actually.
Well,
we
we
want
could
I
try
don't-
to hide the ball gown under another outfit. So if the bride turns out to be a total bitch, Aaron can just remove the top layer. And then I think it would be a really dramatic entrance, I would say. You know?
It is my intent to maybe arrive a little bit early so I can suss out the situation and not be dropped directly into the wedding.
Taste the joint.
Oh, I would love to come with you for that. Would
I
you?
would-
Would you like some arm candy? I can get real nice. I'll clean up real nice just for you.
I would appreciate all your guys' assistance in dealing with this situation. I know it's not as dire as what you guys are usually working on, but
But it's fun. And don't you guys us, you're we.
solidly enough at this point. I think that Volk can be included in the we.
Thank you.
I think
Would
we
you
need to go
prefer
shopping.
multiple arm candies? Do we walk in as a daisy chain? These are very important
Absolutely.
questions.
Does we walk in, Valk has everyone on her arms. Hello, mother. This is my girlfriend and her boyfriend and their girlfriend and her husband. And this is a random wizard that I met and a lumberjack who
and
is
this
my
is- and this is-
dressmaker.
And this is everybody's BFF Erin.
Yeah, no. No, this is Aaron, my stylist.
No, but picture. Volk walks in, 80-foot long train, and we're all just positioned down it, carrying it.
Valk's coming in with an entourage.
We're all wearing a like appropriate, but also like definitely showing off the bride dresses. And then the second she pulls some shit, we all like just strip off, and it's white underneath.
Please.
Yeah, so we're not dressed in white, but we are just
We are absolutely showing
Walk,
up the bride
walk,
in every
fashion,
change
baby.
of outfit.
We're all
You know,
gonna
I
have
think-
egg on our face when she turns out to be a really nice lady, huh?
No, hear me out. I think the plan should definitely be that Volk and I suss it out first, just real quick. And we show up to that wearing all black.
Mm.
And then after that we decide what we do otherwise. What do we
Perfect.
think?
Well,
Like
it is.
spies.
I would feel more comfortable having everyone along, and then we can figure out who's going in for the initial reconnaissance once we get there.
Absolutely. I mean, we could just go right for the bamboozlement, and I could, like, you could walk in with me on your arm, and then Toby on my arm.
Volk initially walks in with you, Levy, and then every like 5 or 10 minutes disappears from the hall and walks back in with another person on her arm.
Please.
Who even knows where we're coming from? Who even knows how many of us there are?
You're all stuffed into a closet.
Mm.
Assuming this is all on character, so sort of like leans over to Aldric's like, are they always like this?
In my experience, yes. And this is frequently how adventuring parties are. It's better to just go with it.
Fair enough. I should know better.
Very much ride or die.
Healthy.
Wait, so does that mean Aldric was also part of a poly relationship with his adventuring party?
You never asked.
Is Aldrich still there? Wait. Is
Aldrich is
still
over
there?
that
Just
one.
Been there
watching
the whole
No,
time.
that question was out of.
And Sniv is in the corner, like, still destroying, like, pastries. So, you know.
That's fine. But is Aldrich still there just watching this?
Yeah.
Val
Levy's gonna
kinda-
glance over to Aldrich and she's just gonna go, she's been like really normal. Except for like the nerding about thing this whole time, I think. And now she's just like plotting evil against her like kind of girlfriend's like mom at the wedding with the rest of the polycule and their shared like best friend.
I do think
She's just like
Sniv would not be up for the task of remaining cordial, but if we do go uncordial, he would be the ace in the hole.
Oh, absolutely. Unleash Sniv on the wedding. If things go poorly.
I'm
She's
guys,
Samira, I
I'm
think you should
hoping it doesn't go poorly, but I feel better knowing you guys are with me in case it does.
oh, we'll have so much fun in case it does go incorrigible. But I did grow up the way that I did. Y'all saw that. Y'all know it. I can do cordially uncordial real well. Don't you fret. Don't you worry.
I'm planning on having a lot of normal fun.
Words for power word killer.
Before
Bless
anything
your
else.
heart.
Also,
Uh.
Demir, you should definitely show up with the brain just on a leash. Like, yes, this is my exotic pet.
Or in a small purse.
I assumed you were going to leave the brain at the house. I'm sorry.
I
Put
mean,
the
you
brain
know,
on a diamond collared leash.
if you want to disrupt a wedding, what better to use than an intellect devourer?
I think it would be best to leave the brain at the house.
Likely. Anyways. We could, needless to say, of course, Falk, you have us at your back no matter what happens. Anyways. Is there anything else we need to go over while Aldric's here, by the way? Anything else? I feel bad for the sidebar a little bit.
No need to feel sorry. It reminds me of my own adventuring days. Although I don't think we ever made plans to crash a wedding.
Made plans to
Tragic,
crash a
Quite
wedding
frankly.
yet.
I mean, a couple of my party members had their own wedding, and it was interesting for a number of reasons. But
No, you can't just say that and not tell me.
later, perhaps.
She gives him the stink eye, like, how dare you keep juicy gossip about your own life from me? How dare you?
Demir definitely when Aldrich brings up his party member's wedding, Demir does look over at Lish like just for a moment, but returns to the conversation. Well, it sounds like we have some shopping to do.
Oh, I don't know if I can succeed.
I shall leave you to it then.
Thank you for the pastries, Aldrich.
Of course.
It's good to see you.
And making coffee.
Welcome back to town.
And thank you, as always, for all of your help. Do give a shout if you need anything from us while we're out and about. Just because we'll be busy doesn't mean that we'll have forgotten about all this.
Absolutely. And I will keep you updated where I can.
Excellent. Be safe, careful, all that.
You as well,
And take care of yourself.
of course.
Don't get too lost in the stacks.
Happens to the best of us.
I know, pot kettle black.
So, with that, I think we will call session for the day.
Evie's back at the shopping trip.
Yay! Oh, it's so good to be back. It's so good to have my girl back.
So good to have you back. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
great to
love
have you
her. I
back
love
in
her so
here.
much.
Yeah.
I
I love
missed
the,
her.
I love the like NPC who's spending time with the adventuring party vibes for Zota. I think that's probably her best look.
It's really good.
Does have NPC energy.
I love her so much.
Just like,
Uh.
are these people always like this? Like,
Yes.
yes.
This is tame.
Well, anyway, thank you for playing, guys.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
running the
being
game.
as always.
I love this party.
D&D's so wonderfully chaotic, you know?
I wish we could play more, but people have things to do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Lives.
Gross.
Real.
See you next time.
bullshit.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.